style my hair like a real Tudor woman, but it's too short, it's asymmetric. Have this side shave as well.
Fear not, Melanie. The Tudor hair fairies are here to help. So, Nina, it's a challenge.
It is. As Melanie just said, it's really short at the back and it's asymmetrical and you've helpfully shaved the side. But I think we can do it. Yay! I think there's just enough.
And we have the kit. We've used it before. Let's give it a go.
Let's turn you around.
So shall we set off the same way that we would with a long-haired person?
Yeah, so normally we would separate the hair into two hanks so that we're going to be doing two plaits, and as you can see there's really not very much to be grabbing hold of here. And the essential part for this style is the hair lace, isn't it? That we always plait into the hair. So if you take that comb,
hold on the end there.
I'm just going to take the hair and I'm going to include this hair lace into the plait itself.
You have so silky hair, Melanie, which makes it also a little more challenging.
So the key is to include the lace into one of the three hanks, and even with quite short hair like this, plait as tightly as possible right behind the ear. So if you just turn your head there. So I'm placing it right behind the ear here and as tight as possible so that it's nice and firm.
And this is the way we would start off plaiting our hair, which obviously goes a lot further down the ribbon. But the principle of making it a firm section next to your head works just as well with short hair.
It does. So look, there's this tiny little cute plait and you sort of think, well, that's not much use to anybody, but you'll see. So we don't have any hair bobbles or elastics. We're going to use the hair lace itself to wrap around and tie off, hold that plait there. We might have to swap sides, Jane. Do this one.
Get as much of the hair in as we can, and then we can tuck any loose ends in at the end.
So you can see here that the hair lace has gone right from one plait or braid across to the other, and that's what keeps this really firm, that you've got the tension across the back of the head here, and there's no danger of the hair lace or hair ribbon actually sliding out as you're plaiting.
And this appears to be the longer side of Melanie's hair, so this one will be quite a lot longer than the other one.
And I've run out of hair with this one, so I'm actually just going to steal some from the other section. The plait itself doesn't have to be beautiful, it just needs to be
firm
and secure, yeah.
So, tying off the second plait, we can start to think about how we'll wrap it round your head. How's it feeling so far?
That's good.
Yeah, so there are lots of loose little bits still because there's so many short layers and everything, but the great thing about this method is that the way that we're actually going to fix the plaits up on top of the head includes drawing in all these little bits. So what we need is a bodkin. Do you have the bodkin?
Yeah, the bodkin is right here.
So, I mean, ours is a lovely handmade bronze bodkin, but actually you could use any kind of big blunt needle like you'd use for knitting or anything like that with a big eye. So you thread the lace through the bodkin, and it really is going to be like sewing the hair to Melanie's head. Don't worry, Melanie. So this is where it all starts to come together, because we're going to bring the plaits on top of the head. And we're going to use this blunt bodkin to actually sew the plaits in place. Now the key with this method is to start with the bodkin at the front along the hairline and then bring it towards the back. So I'm going to start doing that, and I just give it a little wiggle as it goes through the hair so it's not tugging too much. And you'll be able to see better on the other side in a minute when I'm doing it, but what's happening is as I'm drawing the lace from the hairline towards the back, it's pulling all the short pieces of hair away from Melanie's face. And crucially, it's anchoring the hair on top of the head so that any other layers we put on should stay there nice and firmly. If you just turn your head this way a bit, I can show you. So you see what's happening is we're putting the bodkin from the hairline back this way.
So this is neatening up the wispy bits of hair at the front really efficiently. The ribbon, this particular ribbon, isn't very slippery. So maybe that's helping?
It really does help, because there's a temptation to use a lovely silky shiny ribbon, but actually just make life difficult for yourself if you do that. Something with a bit of grip, like a linen ribbon like this, is perfect. With really long hair, I would maybe continue lacing round and use some of this length as well. But with Melanie's, the fact that we've got all these little short bits to catch up, the most useful thing to do would be to actually use the remaining ribbon to bind this up. So that's what I'm going to do, is actually wrap the ribbon round and then just tie it on the top.
Tuck the end in. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty good job, I think. Everything seems to be securely in. And of course, to really transform Melanie into a Tudor woman, we need some nice, clean linen headwear. And the thing I love about such a simple construction, and it looks like it's not going to be a very Tudor looking shape, and then you just pull these drawstrings, you can pull that one, yeah. And the drawstring as well is going to help contain all of this. Then it's over, and even with this little amount of hair, what we've managed to do is create this ridge here that the tape sits in front of, and it creates miraculously from a very flat, untailored looking piece of headwear something that looks as if it has a sort of separate bag back on it. You can just tuck that out the way.
How does it feel?
That's good. We're secure.
Okay, do you want to turn round? Ta-da!
Thank you, Tudor Hair Fairies.
You're welcome.
It can be done.